This video will run through the Tracks tab, more specifically, mapping tracks, track parameters, and track management. A track is a line drawn on the map to show how a unit moved during a specified period. Any number of tracks can be drawn on the map. Tracks can represent different units and various time intervals. To prevent confusion with multiple tracks, you can set different colours for each of them. To start working with tracks, click on its heading in the top panel. Let's start by selecting the unit you want to display the track history for in the drop-down list. You can then adjust the track parameter settings to suit your needs. The track colour settings can be selected from the drop-down list. The first option, by trips, allocates a new colour to the unit between each parking. The second option is single. This is particularly useful when comparing tracks between two vehicles at once, as each vehicle is represented by a different colour. The third option is by speed. This allows you to colour different parts of the track and its coordinates with the vehicle speed. The default track colours are configured on the Advanced tab in the Unit Properties dialog. You can then choose the track line thickness from the drop-down list. This will simply change the width of the track shown. If you choose the points only option, the track will be represented as unconnected points. Markers can be used if you have the appropriate access. You can select multiple markers for each track. Markers are used to highlight the position of significant events on the track. To activate a marker, simply click on the relevant icon to highlight it. There are a number of different markers that you may find useful. The first marker is event numbering. This allows you to see the order in which events have occurred. Event grouping is the next one. This allows you to see the time detail and events that are too close together. Next, speedings will show all the speeding events that occurred on the track. By selecting the events marker, any notification and manual event entry that has taken place will be indicated on the map, for example, excessive idling. The parkings marker will show any parking events, and the stops marker will show any stop. A stop is any non-movement detected for less than the time required to register as a parking event. The initial and final positions marker highlights the beginning and end of the track for the time interval selected. By selecting the Show Annotations checkbox, a stamp will appear next to the track to give you a better understanding of the timeline of events that occurred. Now, let's move on to the Date tool. There are several ways to operate this tool. Firstly, there is the Specified Interval option. Click on the time input box and a calendar will pop up where a date and time frame can be selected and adjusted as necessary. The second option is Start from Until Today interval. Enter the start date only and it will pull all the information from that date until the current time. The third option is for Previous. Select the quantity of time in minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, or years. You also have the option of selecting the current checkbox. For example, if the track is for 2 weeks, you will see data for this week and the previous week. Once all the track settings are selected, click on the Show Track button and the map will display all the results of the selected track parameters. You will notice a coloured box with a check mark next to the unit name. This means that it's visible on the map. To view individual trips, expand the track by clicking on the plus button. Each trip is displayed in a different colour. Click on each trip to zoom in on the map and display the track specific to that trip. Total mileage for all the tracks during the selected interval or mileage for individual trips is also shown here. Next to the mileage column is a play button. Click on this button to open a track player pop-up window on the map area. Here you can view the tracks step by step for the selected time interval. The track player shows the unit, location, date, time, speed, parameters, and sensors. You can pause a trip at any stage, speed it up or slow it down. This is useful if there is an event during the trip that you need to review. To remove or delete a track, simply click on the red X next to it. To remove all tracks, click on the red X in the list header. You also have the option to save a built track as a line geofence. This is useful for common or required routes. To do this, click on the Save as Geofence icon next to the red X. Further information on geofences will be provided in the geofence tutorial. Now you will be able to monitor the movement of different units and customize track parameters. You should feel confident using the Tracks tab. Check out our knowledge base at any time if you would like to learn more.